So, Mrs. Gimpy is here. I went over the schedule, went over the gift sub stuff, or not gift sub stuff. Relax. Mrs. Gimpy's been busy this morning. She's just staring at the video right now. But anyway, the plan for today for Rocket's 18th birthday celebration, we're not going to be watching this video all the time. I gave Mrs. Gimpy the option of what did she want to start with today? Videos or pictures? She chose videos. So we're going to be looking at videos that are, most of them are fairly new or newer. Mainly because, on stream, we look at a lot of different videos, throughout the week anyway, automatically. So I figured we'd go with some stuff that's not seen on a regular basis. And of course, she probably hasn't seen more than once or twice herself. And we'll go from there. We tap in another week, the resub. Yeah, it likes doing that, doesn't it? Anyway, so after we're done with the videos, we'll switch over to pictures. And those are an assortment of stuff, I believe, from different time periods. Even the videos are, though. So, what else? Oh, how's Rocket doing? Well, for those of you who didn't know, Rocket suffered a seizure yesterday morning. Took a number of hours to basically get back to normal. He's basically back to normal for the most part. And he's doing okay, I think. Yeah? You think he's doing?
He's eating. He's walking around. He's I think he's got his sense of direction. I don't think he's so confused or disoriented anymore.
No, he's
he
not.
knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he's back to pretty much where he was.
Yeah.
The funny thing is yesterday because there's a process for the seizure, right? Epilepsy? No, it's not epilepsy because these seizures are new. He's had 3 in the past, though, since last July. He had one last July, on July 3rd, I think it was. And then he had one early this year back in March. Was it March?
It was February 14th.
So February. Oh, that's right, February 14th. And then this one. So he's had 3 in the past, inside of a year. Which isn't necessarily good, but it's not necessarily unusual, too, for dogs of extended age. Which he is, right? Are we back to normal? No, we ourselves are not back to normal. We're still recovering. So, but anyway, the process is he has a seizure, which lasts about 1 to 2 minutes, but it feels like an eternity. And then after that, it takes him about 10 or 15 minutes to basically get up off the ground and feel more normalish, I guess. Normal is the wrong word, though, because he's still very, confused and disoriented and stuff. And he goes through that for about 10 or 15 minutes. And then it kicks in that, oh shit, what happened to me? And he tries to figure out what's going on. And that means that he gets up and he tries to start walking. But he's very stumbly. He can't really walk real well. And that lasts for about 10 or 15 minutes too. But in that 10 or 15 minutes, his walking gets better and better and better. And then it just continues on for the next, what was it? Hour and a half, 2 hours,
probably more than that.
It felt for like forever, but it actually in reality was only like 2 hours tops. And this time around, we didn't do this before, but this time around we set up our living room to basically be a NASCAR track, meaning that we have a big circular what are they called?
A lazy Susan table.
It's a lazy Susan, but what is it really? It's a coffee table. Mm-hmm. And it's a big round table, and it's basically the center of our living room. And so yesterday, because normally in the past, in the other 2 seizures, he was just wandering around just trying to keep up with them, right? Which is a pain. It's really difficult to do. You would think it'd be really easy to keep after a small dog, but it's not. So this time we set it up so that is basically a NASCAR track, and we set up pillows and cushions and stuff, to basically form out the track. The only problem was we didn't have enough cushions to go all the way around. Hey, Jeff, welcome back. This is a dog video. It is a dog video. Well, this part isn't, but give it a second. So anyway, we had 4 turns basically in the track. So we had turn 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and we're fine. He handled those 2 turns pretty well. 3, for the most part, he handled it at first, sort of, kind of, but we used his bed that's out in the living room, and had it flat on the ground. And so when he'd hit it, instead of turning he's supposed to turn left, but instead he would walk up onto the bed and try to go over it. So we had to make a slight adjustment on turn number 3, and we had to flip the bed up so that when he ran into it, he would just, bounce off of it and turn left. Now the difficult part here was the straightaway between turn 3 and 4. There's no cushions, there's no barriers, right? So that whole area between, say, basically between turn 3 and turn 1 was basically open. So at first, it was stand there in turn 4 and kind of direct him towards turn 1. Yes, I know that's Geo. She's pointing at Geo. Geo is the cat with the 4 black squares on her back. So anyway, so I'm standing there and I'm trying to, direct him with my feet for the most part, shuffling back and forth. And that got tiring for me because moving at slow speeds is really not pleasant for me, for my knees. And so, I came up with a brilliant plan: lay on the floor. So lay on the floor, and I was the barrier for turn 4. Basically, my legs were at the beginning of the turn, and my torso and arms were at the end of the turn, so that he'd come out of turn 3, and it's the longest straightaway in the track, and so he's building up speed. He comes in, he bumps off my knees or something like that, and then he turns left, and then he starts heading toward turn number 1, and sometimes he would try to go to the right. And again, he would do that because we didn't have any barriers there either. So I'd have to stick out my arms and push him back in towards turn number 1. So we did that for an hour, I think, at least. I think we did that for an hour. I have no idea how many laps he did. He did so many laps. We got about halfway through, and I started saying, "Welcome to Rocketville 500," or the Rocketville 500, because man, he was just doing laps and laps and laps and laps.
He got his 5,000 steps in.
He easily got his 5,000 steps in. He just walked that over and over and over again. And the best part is he just got better and better at it as he kept going, so, which is just indication that he was recovering. That's what it's for, is to get him, basically just keep moving and learning or relearning what he needs to relearn. And it seemed to work pretty well. And then, was it this morning? I think it was this morning. Because I've been watching him, right, navigate the living room now with it's all back to normal. And I could have sworn he's navigating better than he was before. And I don't mean before, within the last 24 hours. I mean before he had the seizure. I could have sworn he's navigating the living room better. I'm watching him this morning. I'm watching him. Yeah, he is actually navigating better. And as soon as I finish that thought, he freaking does a face plant into the side of the couch. So I went, okay, maybe not. So, yeah. For those of you who don't know, Rocket is basically blind and deaf for the most part. And I was really concerned yesterday after the seizure. I thought he had lost his vision entirely, but he hasn't. He was just dazed. He was still, he was just very confused and stuff. Yes, it was the commentator's curse. I ruined it. But I wasn't commentating. I was just commentating in my head. I didn't say it out loud. It was just like I was thinking, oh, he's doing better. And the next thing you know, poof, right to the couch. It's funny when you think about it. So, anyway. So, yeah, he's good. The seizure, it's very upsetting. It's a lot of work. It's very tiring. And the really big downside, as we discovered at 11 o'clock last night, was Rocket's up walking around. He's back to normal. The only problem is he's loaded with energy because he's been sleeping all day. And it's time to go to bed. And we're just looking at each other going, because you can't really go to sleep until he really calms down. And it took a little bit of a while. It took about midnight or so, I think it was, maybe a little bit later, for him to finally calm down a little bit and, try to sleep. So, but yeah, he's loaded with energy after sleeping all day. But yeah. Am I implying that 2 grown adults can't keep up with 1 older half-blind dog? I am not implying it. I'm saying it. There's no implication involved. It's a fact. You'd be surprised how fast he moves. Before the stream even started, Mrs. Gimpy was getting his breakfast ready, and I had him in here with me. I was trying to keep him entertained. And, I was petting him and letting him lick my arm and that kind of stuff because that's what he likes to do. And he decided he was done. And I was sitting on the floor, and he decided, nah, I'm done. And he just starts walking down the hallway. And I went, no, come back. And I couldn't get up fast enough to go catch him. So where is he currently? I don't know. Where is he?
He just went down the hall.
Oh, he just went down the hallway.
he's just bound and determined after he has a seizure. Every single time he's bound and determined to walk, you know, because he wants to be normal again.
Come closer.
Oh. Every single time he's had a seizure, he's always bound and determined. He just wants to feel normal again. And you can tell he's just stressed out because he just wants to go back to normal. So he's bound and determined to just walk it out until he is better. I'm sorry, my voice is a little, I don't know.
Not so good today.
Maybe it was the lack of sleep. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, so that's the seizure stuff. So we're all set there. So, you want to watch more kitten and dog video? You're not really commenting on it, so.
No. Well, because I was just waiting for you.
Okay.
Listening to you.
So you want to comment on the kittens? You remember when this was?
Yeah, this was probably, 12 years? Let's see,
It's like 12. It's at least 10 years ago.
11, 10, 9, 8.
It's at least 10 years ago.
Yeah, at least. Probably a little over that. Because Gio's probably, like you said, 12, 13 years old now, at least.
That's how old this video is, because that's her as a kitten. So.
Yeah, and we still have Gio. Well, actually, my parents have Gio, the one.
That one.
This one right here. Yeah, and she's a little survivor. She knows how to take care of herself. She jumps up on the roof, and we've got, they've got a really high roof because they've got a 2-story. So she goes up there, and yeah, she's a sweetheart. She
hates Rocket though.
Well, she's not used to dogs, so she doesn't. Because one time I came by, I think with Mickey and Rocket both, yeah, and I go, Gio, look, and she.
No, this was last year. After Mickey, you brought Rocket over.
Oh, just Rocket, yeah, because I wanted to bring Rocket over so he wouldn't miss me, have separation anxiety, but that didn't work out. And Gio looked, and she looked, and I go, oh, maybe she'll get used to him. And she looked, and she didn't do anything, and all of a sudden, I don't know if her eyesight is still good because all of a sudden she, made her little hiss, and I go, no, Gio, no, Gio. And so no, and she ran off. So no, she never grew up with dogs.
Okay, so there's the cat report. Okay, so let's get switched over to this.
But I just want to mention that Rocket is very strong for going through these, especially with his age. Oh my gosh. I mean, to survive that and stuff, definitely our creator did that.
Okay, looks like we're ready to go.
Oh, that's so cute. Yeah.
Forgot to put up my playlist so I can keep track of that. There we go.
You say oops quite often. Do you need assistance?
I do. Let's see if this works. So this is really the very first video of the dogs. And it was Rocket attacking himself. 10 weeks old. 10 weeks old. So that was that. And this is a number of years later. These videos are not in any particular order, just to be clear. Some of them are older than others and that kind of stuff, so it's kind of randomish. But anyway, this was one evening in the kitchen. Dinner time. Can you tell which one is more focused on dinner or not? Mrs. Gimpy is over to the left, preparing dinner. Rocket has learned that food sometimes drops on the floor. And that's what he's looking at. That's what he's waiting for. So, come on, drop it. Drop it. Oh, we have a lot of sleeping videos, by the way. Oh, do you want to listen to stuff, the noises in the videos and stuff, or are you good? I mean, not, a lot of it's nothing special, but...
It's okay.
Because sometimes you do talk. Do you want to listen?
For a little bit. Can you still?
I don't need to hear it. I've seen these
Do
videos
you
enough.
need to talk to this?
No, I talked to the mom.
Okay. Oh, it's not long enough.
We'll scooch over then. Just a second. We're gonna resituate our seating positions here. Just a second. Okay, I think we're good. So, this video. How old is this one? Well, his nose looks like it's in somewhat good shape still, because it's not going bald yet. Or it's not as bald as it could be.
And he's pretty black on the head, right?
Yeah.
From here, anyway.
This video is a couple of years old still. But you can see he's starting to lose hair on his nose, because you can see how black it is. Because for those of you who haven't heard lately, is Rocket's losing the hair on his nose. It's basically the space between his nose and his forehead. It's going bald. And we know that because it's getting blacker and blacker. Because the skin actually on the top of his muzzle is black. And that's how we know. I mean, it looks pretty black there, but that's just because it's more white than it's the whiteness. You can still see the hairs and stuff, but nowadays it's mostly not hair anymore. So, as you can see, it loves being filmed. Going, what are you pointing that thing in my face for? I hate that. It's on the couch. What he's looking at, I have no idea. This is not from too terribly long ago, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know what he's looking at, if anything. It's very possible he's not looking at anything. He's just trying to avoid the camera, because he's done that a lot during his lifetime. He actually avoids looking at the camera because he knows that for some reason, I don't know if he knows what it is other than it's in his face a lot. So he has a tendency to turn away when it gets close. He's been doing that most of his life. And there we go. Got to get comfortable. And the tongue. Yes, the tongue is definitely out now. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's hard to see. Oh, look who it is.
The trio.
No. It's the two amigos and a pain in the ass. That's what it really is.
So, Scout must be probably up in her, let's see, she was about 5 when you were right. So,
when she left, she was about 5 or 6.
Yeah. So,
and that
so
was
at
a couple
least
years back. She's about 8 now, if she's still alive.
or if somebody took her.
Remember, we haven't seen her in a couple of years now.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, she left in the end of 2023? I think it was December. Was it 23 or 22?
Seems like it's been more like 3 years. I don't know.
Okay, so maybe we'll just assume it's 22. So this will be the 3rd anniversary in December of her being gone. The old best friend guest. Oh yes. So such not a good friend. Oops. Go. Is he barking at her?
I did hear one bark.
No, that might have been Mickey then. You're wondering what's going on. Mrs. Gimpy's not home.
There he goes.
There he goes. Yeah. So Mrs. Gimpy's not home, so Mickey and Rocket are guarding the front door, and Scout's not allowed in the house when Mrs. Gimpy's not around. So, but Scout didn't understand that part.
Well, I don't know what might happen if.
Well, no, I'm not going to let her in. I'm not. I don't want her in the house. You're the one who let her in. It wasn't me. Another on the couch. What's he doing here? I don't know.
You know, the interesting thing was when the owner, when I let the
Scout's
owner
owner.
know, yeah, where she was, she would go get her and she'd go, Scout, and she'd throw her over her shoulder. Just throw her over her shoulder like a rag doll. Like, no.
You have no idea what Rocket's looking at here.
Mm.
He's just sleeping here.
Snore.
Oh, it is a snoring one? Yeah. Most of the sleeping videos involve snoring. I need to go through and string all the snoring ones together. See how much time actually it takes though. Rocket's lost. Just a second. Miss Gimpy's got to go rescue Rocket somewhere. He does. I think he lost track of us. We could hear him whining down the hallway somewhere. There he is. Uh-oh. Now he's been forced to sit in Mrs. Gimpy's lap. He's not a lap dog, remember? He hates being a lap dog. Oh, look, more scout pictures or videos. This is more about the tongue, just to be honest. The video is more about the tongue. It has nothing to do with the cat or the other dog. It's all about the tongue. Oh, look, they're both going.
Lizards.
See, the funny part is you can actually hear the flickering of his tongue because it's so slimy.
Well, to this day, when Rocket eats something out of the bowl, his treats, if they're dry, he'll lick it. And, well, even if it's wet food, he'll lick it right. It'll fly right up in the air, part of it. He does that.
There's no tongue in this video. No tongue at all. Cat's going, what the hell's going on? Why am I not inside? He's okay. He knows where you are now. That matters. Okay, don't cover up your mouth when you're going to be talking. Mrs. Gimpy's trying to lean on the desk, and she's leaning on her fist.
I don't have a bat. I know. Have a bat.
I know.
So I'm trying to get...
We weren't able to get a proper chair in here in time for Mrs. Gimpy. Oh, look, he's sleeping again. Hey, Taco, welcome back. Again, the baldness on this is an older video because his nose isn't so bald.
No, it isn't.
This is an older one. What is this? Oh, this is one of the older beds, isn't it? Or is this a blanket?
No, that's a bed. That's
the
one. Well, Mickey liked to dig on all the beds. Yeah, that's the. I don't know what shape it is. Yeah, that's the big bed, foam bed.
They like this one. They really like this one, so. To keep large African flightless birds separate as they need to be ostracized. What's that got to do? There's no birds in the video, Scabbard. Is he snoring? You can't hear.
Now, you mean?
No, in the video.
I don't know.
I can't hear if he's snoring. So it was the most distinctive behavior from the very beginning. Rocket? Distinctive behavior. The sideways glance. Basically, he looks in one direction, and then he looks at you off to the side, or something off to the side. So put it in perspective, Mickey was always a eyes, ears, nose, whatever he's looking at, right? Everything's always pointing the same way. With Rocket, it was nose and ears in one direction, eyes always looking in a different direction. That was his probably most distinct. That's his most distinctive feature. He still does it nowadays too. Even though he can't see, he still does it. That's the funniest part. Oh look, they're walking on the sidewalk. I think she was trying to recreate the other video that we have from that was by probably a couple years before this video. Mrs. Gimpy was trying to recreate it where they're just trotting down the sidewalk side by side, that kind of thing. And she was trying to recreate it here, and it didn't quite work out because they were older and said, "Nah, we're not going to do that now." He's 100. Well, he's 18 years old, and depending on they figured out aging for the breeding for ages now, or sorry, not the breeding, the age for breeds is different from dog to dog, because it used to be, the tried and true ones is 1 year of human years is equal to 7 dog years, but they figured out that's not true for all breeds. Smaller breeds tend to live longer, so their dog years per human year is a little less. Larger dogs a little more. So in this case, he's still like 100 years old, because again, 18 is, even if you do like 6 times 6, 18 times 6 is what, 108. So
Yeah, I have to look at that ratio or the.
no, you can actually Google it by breed now.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do and see for
Talk about the
Papillons. Oh, this is park or
It's a mall. It's an indoor mall.
It's an indoor mall, and it was really nice because I think at that time it was summer and it was really hot, and I didn't want to take them out on the hot pavement, so we went to the mall, and quite a few people bring their dogs to the mall in strollers, walking, everything. So it's nice and cool, and they were all excited the first time we went. They're like, "Ooh, what's this?" And nice, cool floors, and I took pictures of them, and you'll see amongst plants and all kinds of things. So it was really nice. Very nice.
Look, the tongue's out.
Had a good time.
The tongue's out again. Are there any videos from the MS walks? I don't think I have any of those videos in here today. Most of the stuff is focused on Rocket, and when doing the MS walks and stuff, that was more of a group effort type stuff. So remember, today's about Rocket. It's not about me or Mickey or Mrs. Gimpy. It's about Rocket. This video, I was trying to figure out what this is. A dog park, right? This is over a mast, or is it somewhere else?
I think it is, because let me see more of it. I can't really tell because I don't know what the surroundings are. Oh, that's Woodglen.
Oh, Woodglen. Okay.
Woodglen Vista. Where you going?
So another dog park in our area.
This one was all different sizes. It wasn't just, it wasn't fenced off for small or medium or large dogs. It was all one big park.
Okay, if you're going to lean back, you need to speak louder.
Okay.
Just so you know. The farther you get away from the mic, the louder you have to speak.
A lot of times here, they didn't really run around or anything. I had to walk around the park for them to follow me, and that's how I got them to walk. But do you have any videos of them at the Madison?
Not today.
No?
Not today.
Okay, because there they would play, they had grass.
Okay, and also let's put this in perspective too. The ones from the first dog park over in El Cajon, they were much younger. Look how old they are today.
Yeah, I know.
These videos they're like 14, 15 years old in these pictures. They're not doing much of a running anywhere anymore. So that's why she gets so disappointed. She takes them to dog parks and she expects them to run around like they were puppies. And they said, no, we're grumpy old dogs now. We don't do that. We do our thing. We don't do your thing.
Well, when I used to take them out to the ball field, the ballpark, they used to run after squirrels.
Yeah, again, when they were 3 years old. Considering they're 13 years old here, there's a few years on their legs now.
Oh, one thing they started off with when they were young was bottle caps. I don't know how that ever started. I think the bottle cap fell, and one of them took off with it, and they go, oh, bottle cap, and that wasn't the best thing for them to play with, bottle cap. from a bottled water.
I think what it started from is because as usual, dogs never play with the toys you actually want them to play with. They play with the most inexpensive stuff possible, like
Socks.
used up toilet paper or paper towel rolls. You know, the little paperboard tubes. They love those. Normal like a toy with like a squeaker or not so much a squeaker, but with like a bell in it, they didn't really care about. But if you took a regular water bottle and emptied out, throw a couple of coins in there, shake it around, makes, for some reason they like that better than a bell sound. I think that's where the bottle cap thing might have been related to, because they pick that up and they toss it around and stuff too. Oh, that reminds me, I forgot the seafood. The squirrel is still around. I forgot to check. We need to double check to see if that squirrel is still in their toy box, because that was actually his favorite. Rocket's favorite toy was actually a stuffed squirrel animal thing that he loved.
It might have been worn out
Could have been worn out
and old and raggedy and stuff.
Well, because we went through at least two of them. Because Mickey killed them. Mickey purposely killed the squeakers and the squeaky toys. He purposely just killed them. And once the squeaker's dead, they don't really care about them too much.
Come on, you pansy, get back in there and fight.
Are there any particular outside the home places Rocket really likes? Yeah. Julie's house, or not Judy, Judy's house. Judy's condo. Mm-hmm. He still gets all excited going over there. Mm-hmm. Which Judy is Mrs. Gimpy's friend. She lives here in the complex. I'm kind of not quite the other side, but different side of the complex than us. And she lives on the ground floor. And Mrs. Gimpy used to take her. I don't know how you guys met, but they met and they regularly sit on her porch and they drink their iced tea and that kind of fun stuff.
I do not drink iced tea. No, I don't drink iced tea.
But they'd sit there on the porch and Judy would feed treats to the dogs. I mean, just machine gun them treats. Just treat. And then Mrs. Gimpy decided that probably wasn't the best thing because she wasn't using the best quality treats. So Mrs. Gimpy's solution was to basically buy the treats that she wanted Judy to feed her and give those treats to Judy, and then she could machine gun those treats to Mickey and Rocket. And of course, they love her after that. What?
But I put so much in a bag so it couldn't go over.
Right. Yeah. She basically gave her a ration of treats to use. So, but as a result, is even now, when because Mrs. Gimpy still takes Rocket over there, and he knows where he is. Despite the fact that he can't really he's, like I said, again, mostly blind, mostly deaf. He knows where he is when he goes over there. And Mrs. Gimpy said he gets all excited and stuff. So it's kind of funny that he still knows exactly where he is. Hey, Gray, welcome back. Oh, Gray Armor saying, Mrs. Gimpy, your husband doesn't feed us or take us anywhere. And your response is?
How many miles are you away?
Oh, they're all over the world.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe
Vukruls, this guy, he's actually in Poland.
Okay.
And Gray is, I don't know where Gray is. Gray is somewhere in the United States, but I don't know where.
Should take a flight out.
A flight out?
Yeah. So I can go somewhere.
We can introduce.
Don't take us anywhere.
We actually have Polish neighbors, actually. And when we say Polish, we mean they're actually from Poland. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of funny because the really funny part is I haven't met them yet, but Mrs. Gimpy says, "Oh, I was talking to so and so." This
Teresa.
Don't use real names. You don't need to use real names because I'm going to be involving real people names here in the site. Because it's funny because she said, "Well, I met this the person. They're from her and her husband are both from Poland." Mm-hmm. And she tells me the woman's name, and I went, "Oh, do you know the husband's name?" She goes, "No." And I go, "You should find that out because guy I used to work with years ago at the hospital and stuff. His wife's name was Teresa, and they were both from Poland." And I was just wondering. I mean, I'd lost track of them over the years and stuff, but I was just wondering if it's actually the same couple and stuff. Because her friend is in the right age group. So I'm just curious. One of these days, we really need to find out what their husband's name is.
Mickey and Rocket at the park.
Mickey and Rocket at the park right after you're talking. grooming.
at Pa's place.
Grooming at Pa's Place. Free advertisement. They owe us affiliation money now.
You got a nice back, and then we went to Petco to pick up some.
Then you're talking about Petco now, so the Petco owes us money now.
For what?
Advertisement, free advertisement there. You're talking about it on the video.
I am talking about? What am I saying about Petco?
You took them over to Petco to get treats and stuff.
Oh, yeah, their favorite treats. You know, they grew up with, ever since they were like, what, 1 or 2, they've had that True Chews, the duck, the chicken. They grew up with that. He's still on it.
Yeah.
Still loves it.
They love their duck jerky.
The True Chews. Yeah, great treat.
Oh, and there's also the Petco stories. I've taken them to Petco. They love the magic door.
Oh, yeah, because it just magically opens.
Yeah.
Yeah, they go, ooh. And what happened one time, we went over to the little trolley station mall, and we were walking around there. We weren't going to PetSmart or anything, because PetSmart does that too. But there's a DSW over there. And those doors magically open too. And we went right by there and just open, and they go, whoo, and they got all excited. Their tails start wagging. They want to go in. They go, no, I'm not going in here. Shoe store. DSW is a shoe store.
See? More advertising dollars we should be getting here. You're screwing me, dear. Not in a good way. So, next question is, are there any particular people beyond you two that Rocket particularly likes? He likes everyone, to be honest. Rocket is the people dog. He loves people. And as far as anyone particular,
Mickey loved people.
only if he's heavily bribed. Yeah. Very few people did he actually like that didn't involve lots of bribing. So.
Well, if he knows them and they've given him treats, yeah, he'll like them.
But Rocket doesn't need to be bribed.
It's a way to his heart.
Rocket basically likes people. He's just a people dog.
Yeah.
He just likes people in general. Now, they both love my grandmother, my mom's mom.
Yeah,
oh, my God. They'd maul her. Their version of mauling, at least, is every time we go over there, because she lived in Arizona in my mom's area, and every time we go visit them, they're jumping up on the couch, attacking my grandmother if she's sitting down. And then
It's funny.
a number of years back, before she passed, she spent a few days with us, her and my mom. They were in town for a funeral or something, and they stayed with us. And my grandmother, Mickey and Rocket were basically attached to her the whole time. They would not leave her alone. And probably because my grandmother was your typical kindly old, grandma. She was the iconic grandma, and she never says no. And especially with the dogs and stuff, she's just like, she's trying to fend them off, and she wasn't very successful. It's hilarious. So.
She was always very calm and relaxed, and that's probably part of it. And she loved dogs too.
Yeah,
they've had
she's a
dogs,
dog
so yeah, they knew that. And Belle.
Oh, yeah,
love Belle.
one of our other neighbors.
Or she's not here anymore, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, look, it's a jacket because it was cold.
And I've always liked that black and red check on them. So they've got the harness black and red check. They got red and black.
You mind
everything.
if I get her in the video? Okay. That's your buddy. Look.
Oh, look, it's Bessie.
Oh, yeah, that's their. It's their buddy, her girlfriend.
How old is Bessie?
Gosh, she's
old too, though, isn't she?
She's getting up there. I don't know exactly how old she is.
She's younger than them, but
yeah.
she's still old.
Yeah.
What about Scout? Scout's still MIA. Well, she's not MIA. We know where she roughly lives. We just haven't seen her, which is a good thing because that's what we like, right?
She lives on the next block over, really.
Yeah. She lives less than a mile away from us. Probably less than a half a mile away from us. And she's just too stupid to figure her way back. So.
No, I've heard of cats always coming back to their, well, maybe to their owners, but, from miles and miles away. Maybe she has been here and we just don't know it.
So this video is less than a year old, or right about a year old. A lot of these videos you see now, just Rocket. These are within the last year since Mickey passed. So the fact that he's now you're complaining that he's faster than you are.
Yeah, he was fast. I was surprised. I was like, look at him go. I mean, Rocket doesn't stop. I mean, if I stop and talk to somebody on the sidewalk, around the complex, or wherever I go, oh my gosh, he's ready to go. He's like, making all kinds of noises and like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to
I know
go.
the way home.
And, he just goes. I mean, he doesn't care where he goes. He just goes. He just doesn't have the patience to stop and relax. And
This life is too short. I can't be bothered with you people.
He takes. Oh my gosh, he gets his exercise. That's for sure. Wow.
What are the most liked animals by Rocket? Any animal that is smaller than him and isn't aggressive towards him.
Mm-hmm.
So kittens, lizards, birds. Well, birds not so much because birds don't usually hang around.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say it's mostly kittens, lizards, but lizards usually run away. But that just gets his attention. But not so much at this age. What other animals? I mean, obviously, stuff they want to chase. And they want to chase squirrels and rabbits and lizards and birds and that kind of stuff. That's what their brains are wired for.
I'd like to see I would have liked to see what they did around little puppies, but we never
got around puppies.
No.
You do?
But I would have
good,
liked to see
gotcha.
what they would have done.
Although that's actually not
Slow,
true.
baby. Yeah, just
Is
like
they have been around
good
younger
boy.
dogs.
Mm-hmm.
The
But
only
really
problem,
small.
yeah, the problem is they were golden retrievers, my mom's dogs, and they see Mickey and Rocket and they go, "Let's play." And Mickey and Rocket go, "Fuck you."
Well, at an older age, yes.
Well, yeah, I think it would have been pretty much almost any age, that kind of stuff, because they were just too big and too much energy for them. So, that reminds is their first golden retriever, my mom's dog, Samantha. They loved her. I forgot to put videos.
Oh yeah,
her.
that was their babysitter. Yeah, they loved her.
They loved Samantha.
They would crawl up next to her and snuggle into her and stuff.
Yeah.
And lay down next to her. Yeah.
Mauler, whatever.
got
Mickey
you.
trying to lick her tonsils out, that kind of stuff. Hey, Jeff. Go back. Hamsters, bunnies, and groundhogs? We don't have any groundhogs around here. And we don't have any wild hamsters, but... Pretty sure he wants a pet rat, though. I think he wants a pet rat. Pretty sure he does. He even a pet rat. A rat would get along really well with Rocket, I think. Just saying. Pretty sure a rat would love Rocket.
I don't know.
Because, well, Rocket's not going to be aggressive to him. So the rat's going to see, oh, it's got a big brother now. Somebody to protect me.
Sweet.
Not sure where he's going here.
He knows he's in the right area.
Go.
Don't want a rat? I've had pet rats before. I have no problems with rats. Mrs. Gimpy had to go AFK for a second. But I've got no problem with rats. Like I said, I've had pet rats in the past before I met Mrs. Gimpy. They were not a problem. They're good pets, actually. Because they're fairly smart. They're easy to control. They don't bite a whole lot. So... And I guess the real question with Mickey and Rocket has always been, as far as getting along with the other animals, has been how do the animals react to them? In this case, cats. Fed them to a snake? No, they were actually pets. I did not feed any rats to snakes. You know, a snake has to be pretty big to eat a snake, or a snake has to be pretty big to be eating rats. Usually, because I used to own a snake before I owned the rats, and he ate mice. But to eat a rat, you have to have a fairly big snake. Hey, Rain, welcome back. So, yeah, like I said, I have had 2 pet rats in the past, and
No.
they last a couple of years. They're not very long lived, unfortunately, but yeah. They're very, very clingy. Yeah, that's, like I said, both of mine, like I said, on my shoulder. Of course, it didn't help that I had a Yorkshire Terrier at the time. Yorkshire Terriers are ratters, so she wanted to eat them all the time. But that was an adventure. And but as far as when she wasn't noticing them, yes, they're very social. They love attention. They really do. They're like dogs. In all honesty, they're a lot like dogs. because they want to be near you because you're basically there. They identify you pretty quickly if you treat them well. They identify you as a friend really quickly because again they're not stupid, and if you're not a threat to them, they go, oh, so you must be a friend, and they treat you like that way, and they become very clingy. Like I said, mine love to sit on my shoulder all the time. And again, these videos of Rocket walking around, these are from the last year or so.
He walks really fast.
He's walking really fast there.
And he's like 16, 17? No, 17.
16, over 16. Well, he could be. He's actually 17 here in some of these videos, because these are all done after January 2024. So yeah, he's 16, 17 years old in these videos. This Gimpy washing her feet on camera. Good job.
Every time I go by those, what do you call water grates? Or
Drains.
I always think of Mickey because he used to love to check those out.
Because there's stuff that lives in there, that's why.
Raccoons, kinds of things.
I don't know so much raccoons, probably possums more than anything else, but maybe rats.
Let me fix your jacket. Oh, there you go. Good boy. That's better. Yeah, that's better.
Does he still walk like this?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
But he didn't, I don't think he had all the joint problems that he...
No, he did. It's getting worse.
Not as
It's an
much.
age thing. It's an age thing.
But I found some good joint supplements, so he's getting those. He just got some. He's got a lot of New Zealand mussels and glucosamine, chondroitin, all kinds of good stuff in it.
Mrs. Gimpy is basically giving Rocket performance-enhancing drugs.
It's a supplement.
Yes, that's what they call them, supplements. Performance-enhancing drugs. Or supplements. She just rolled her eyes at me. Oh, you want a gummy? First one's free.
Yeah, I haven't had mine yet.
Mrs. Gimpy did a gummy today. Ooh, a cherry one. I think that's a cherry one at least. Those are good. It's not pills. It's more like a dust. Well, what Rocket gets is
A sugar candy.
no. What Rocket gets?
Oh, no.
It's like a powder, right? Or was it oil?
Yeah, it's kind of like a freeze-dried liver treat or something.
Yeah.
Freeze-dried. I don't know. It's kind of what it looks like.
Gummy bears? No, these are just gummies. They're the ones that we eat are, what kind of shape is that? It's a trapezoid type deal. It's
Looks like a bell.
yeah, it kind of looks like a bell. Yeah, it looks like a bell, a lopped off bell. That's usually what they look like. I know there's a shape name for it, but I can't remember what it is. But bell is pretty accurate. It's a special gummy. It's not a special gummy. It's just got some CBD stuff, extract in it. No THC. Oh, look, he's peeing on a bush. He doesn't hike his leg anymore. So, and that's he stopped that within the last year. So,
No, he'll raise his tail, when he's going to the bathroom, because
Yeah.
he'll put his feet out like this and his back feet, and he'll raise his tail up really high.
yeah. He when he gets in a position these days, it's like, uh-oh. You see, he stops and he just basically gets in a certain position. He gets all stiff and his tail goes up in the air. Go, oh, he's doing something, and you know what's coming next. And that's why he has the name Mr. Tinkles. So that's the formation or the stance. It's pretty funny. Because again, he doesn't hike his leg anymore. Any particular memories surprising Rocket behavior during all these years? Remember surprising behavior?
Well, One thing that he did is he learned it on his own. He did this thing.
Oh, the sitting up on his back leg, on his hind legs, and he does a little waving thing that he does.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
cute.
he hasn't done that in many years though. Now we have a video of that, of course.
That was cute.
I don't know if that was surprising behavior, but
Well, I've never seen him do it before. The first time.
that's
he did
surprising
it.
behavior.
What?
The way he's
Him
running.
yeah.
Holy crap!
At his age, yeah. Yeah, I don't know why he's in such a hurry. I don't know what his thinking was.
For me, probably the most, I don't know if it's surprising, but it was amusing, and this is related to the stuffed squirrel we were just talking about not too long ago, is they had a stuffed toy squirrel. You know, it's just a gray squirrel, whatever, and it's got a little squeaker in it, and they would play with it, you know, because they have a toy box, and we throw all their toys in there, and they would pull stuff out of there from time to time. And when I guess up until about 5 or 6 years old and stuff, the squirrel was very popular. It was Rocket's favorite. His favorite was the squirrel, and the way things worked at that time because of Mickey. Rocket is a retriever, as far as you throw a toy, he'll go get it and he'll bring it back. Mickey, you throw a toy, he go gets it and make sure nobody else gets it, and he won't bring it back to you. He's a jerk. So, not a very good retriever. Rocket, though, he wanted to retrieve it. And so our normal routine, you know, pretty much every day after dinner would be playtime, which was, you know, play with the toys, do tug of war, you know, chew on my hands, that kind of stuff. And usually Mickey, he'd pull something out, like, you know, and he'd try to get Rocket to play tug of war with him, that kind of stuff. Rocket always wanted to play fetch. And so he would go get the squirrel, and he'd bring it over me. He'd drop it at my feet, and I'd pick it up. We'd do a little bit of tug of war, and then I'd throw it, and he'd go get it. We'd do that 3 or 4 times, and Mickey's off on the side somewhere, not really paying attention. All of a sudden, he's paying attention because he can hear the squeaker on the squirrel go off every now and then. Because Rocket, even though he could make it squeak, he wasn't consistently good at it because he didn't have a mouth really big enough to get around the squirrel's body to get to the squeaker.
That's right.
And, you know, he didn't have the strength really to do it, but occasionally he would. And every time he would, Mickey would perk up, and he'd come running over and he'd take the squirrel away. And I'd tell him, come on, Mickey, bring it back. And he'd go running off with it. Okay, fine. So at that point, Rocket would go get all depressed, and he'd go, you know, find something else to kind of play with, and that didn't squeak and whatever. And then a little while later, I'd be sitting there and I'd be watching TV or reading or something, and then I'd see this little gray squirrel go flying across the living room in front of the TV, and I'm like, what the hell? And then you see Rocket goes tromping through the living room to go get the squirrel again, and then he'd bring it over to me. And I go, I'd throw it, and he'd go get it, and we go through the whole process again, and Mickey would take it away from him and go hide it. 10, 15 minutes later, the squirrel goes flying across the TV again. It was Rocket. He'd go get the squirrel after Mickey had abandoned it, and he would just basically he'd pick it up and shake his head, and he'd just let it go, and he was basically just throwing it across the living room. He was entertaining himself more than anything else, and that's one thing Rocket's always done. He entertains himself because he knows that Mickey's going to take away whatever he's playing with. So he learns to do stuff on his own and not try to get attention from Mickey as the process. He wanted attention from me because I would throw it so he didn't have to, and he'd just go fetch it and he'd bring it back. But again, like I said, with Mickey running around, that didn't last too terribly long typically. So that was probably the most, I don't know. Again, I don't know if it's surprising behavior so much as interesting behavior. Because again, Rocket is. If you in other videos you'll see, you know, in the park and whatever, he'll be out in the middle of nowhere with a ball and he'll be throwing it around by himself, or you know, that kind of stuff. And that's what he entertains himself because he knows if Mickey gets involved, that's not going to happen because Mickey's going to take it and won't share because you know he's selfish. So. Yes, it's sibling behavior. Yes, and Rocket is the minor, the lesser of the two. I mean, even though physically they have the same dimensions as far as height and weight, and just that is. But Mickey was heavier boned, and as a result, his musculature was a little bit heavier, and he was definitely the dominant of the two. He's just physically stronger than Rocket in most cases. Not that Rocket lost every fight. But Mickey was basically he was the older brother, definitely for sure. He was the more dominant of the two. So, okay, Mrs. Gimpy, you can talk too. She's just watching the video, by the way. She's just looking at the video, smiling. Comments? Oops.
Oh, I just always remember when they were younger, Rocket used to love getting Mickey by the tail.
Well, when he goes to play with somebody else.
Yeah, we used to go to the dog park. I probably already mentioned this before. I don't remember, but they would be playing, and Rocket didn't really like to play with the other dogs. I mean, he just liked to play with Mickey, right? And so Mickey would, I don't know how he did it, but all the dog, he'd go sniff all the dogs and stuff, and it's almost like he was communicating with them and saying, okay, ready? And then he'd start running around. Mickey loved to be chased. So then all these dogs were chasing him. And you could see Mickey's face is like, ooh, this is so much fun. All right, I'm fast. And then he'd be making all these corner turns, and all of a sudden he'd go, how do you say when you make a real sharp turn?
You make a sharp turn.
Yeah, he'd make all these sharp turns, and he goes, okay, come get me if you can. And Rocket would be so jealous because all these dogs were after him. So Rocket would, join in on the chase and get Mickey, but he was just focused. He zoomed in, and I think I have some videos of those.
Videos of it.
Yeah, they're so cute. And he would just grab Mickey by the tail, and all of a sudden you see Mickey,
Hey Gimpy, it is time
skid
to
in the
take a break.
slide in the grass, because it was so cute. I just love
This break
that.
supports the purchase of Rocket's treats.
Veronica's telling me
If
to take
you would
a break,
like to
but
help
we'll
Rocket
skip
feel
this
like a
as soon
puppy
as she's
again,
done saying her
please
stuff.
visit gimpyknee.com/support or type
I'm just trying to
exclamation
think
point
what
treats
else.
in chat.
okay.
Thank you. Your next break is in 1 hour.
Okay, we'll skip this break for now because we're busy.